kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Tell me, boy.
Testicles, 1, 2, testicles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back at it, like young crack addicts.
It's good to be back. Thank you so much for tuning back in, everybody. I am your humble host, Trebles Garcia. And joining me the 1 to 2 is the best co-host in the motherfucking planet. Big Tank, salute.
Salute. What's popping? What's bragging, big dog?
What's good, dog? It's nice to hear your voice, dog. This is Paranoid Radio Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, the best show with the best content for the best fucking listeners. And we have an amazing episode lined up for you guys. Second episode of the fucking week, dropping bombs of knowledge with Ghost Joe from More Reality Podcast. Now, before we jump into anything, Big Tank, how you doing, bro? How's
I'm
Big
good,
Daddy
big
doing?
dog. I'm chilling. Fool. What's up with you? How'd you spend your Valentine's Day, big dog? Speak to me.
I didn't have sex.
You know what? I'm gonna say you're pretty unromantic, so I don't know how I feel about that.
What is pretty unromantic? What does that mean?
I think you, quote unquote, and there's no punchline. You already got the cow, you already got the milk, you already got the calf. No need to maintain.
Dude, did you just call my wife a cow? I don't know. With the things how things are going right now.
That's what I said. Don't take it the wrong way.
Doug, I don't know if I should be insulted that you called her a cow or happy because you know how farm animals are going extinct now, so you need to grow your own eggs and shit. Like I don't even know what the fuck, Doug.
Aye. You got
How
your
did
own
you
chicken,
spin?
you got your own eggs. How about
There you
that?
go. There I got my own hand. I got it. Okay, so how are you doing? How did you spend your fucking Valentine's Day?
It was groovy. It was groovy. My wife had to go work, but we still went out to eat.
All right.
A little mutual exchange, nothing crazy, but it was definitely.
I
a good
saw
time.
what she gave you, dog, and it was a very creative, very awesome fucking present, dog. I
I
liked
got
it.
flowers, big dog. I got flowers.
You did?
One of the very few times, big dog.
How does that
so-
make
and,
you feel?
and I'm old fashioned, big dog. Anybody
Okay.
with any type of thing on me, I'm gonna put out, big dog. Call me old fashioned, big dog.
Word. Are you the type of guy that when I know you give big presents. I know you're a big spender guy when it comes to giving gifts to your wife, and that's what I love about you. And I really look up to you because of that. Plus, you got married at a very young age, and for you to have those moral values tells me a lot. And you know, you were raised authentically Mexican, and I love that shit. So I'm just giving you that right now, off the bat. But first of all, like, are you the type of guy that gets offended if they give you a small gift when you give a big gift, or
No. I could really care less. I mean, even then, for example, if she wanted to throw this big extravagant party, and she tells me, "Oh, we have to do something big for yours," no, I mean, I could really care less.
right? Okay.
I even if I don't receive anything, it wouldn't offend me, to be honest. I mean,
Talking
if
like
that's what it can.
talking like a true alpha male. I like that.
No, not necessarily that. It just, I mean, at this point, I want to say at a certain point in life, you just like, it is what it is. As long as you take care of your own, I think that should be more than enough.
You know, I'm the type of guy that gives very basic gifts because I'm a very basic guy. I have very basic colors, very basic flavors. So when I give a gift, I don't expect anybody to give me back because when you give and do favors, you don't expect favors back, right? Or give gifts. It has to come out of your heart. So when my wife gives me an expensive gift, I feel so indebted to her that, for example, if she gives me a wallet that was, I want to say, 50, 60 bucks, right? And next year, I have to give her an iPhone, double or triple the price what she gave me. So then she gives me something that's more expensive than an iPhone. Like last year, she gave me a fucking PS5. Guess what happened, dog? I have to come over here and give her a tablet and some other fucking goodies.
Didn't you give her a baby?
All right, I'm done. All right, connect the randomizing machine and give me the preview review.
Randomize you do your thing.
Paranoid Radio.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. This is right. Read you a preview review from Apple Podcasts. Woo! Actually, actually pretty good. 2 hands going up, crazy. Natalie 503, 5 stars. These guys are a little slow. What? Wait. What? Wait.
Kill me?
Wait. Kill me? Wait. These guys are a little slow, but they make me laugh and really have good topics. Natalie 503, fuck you. Not playing. Natalie 503, this episode goes out to you. Thank you so much for that amazing review on Apple Podcasts. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want your reviews to be played and read live on the air, make sure you drop a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, absolutely free. And now, Big Tech, it's bird, it's plane. Nope, it's what is happening. It's Pioneer Radio. Big Tech, what is happening?
What is happening, my people? You guys know the deal.
Oh,
what
shit.
What the fuck is happening around this world? I'm gonna give you guys 2 stories. I want you guys' official 2 cents plus my 2 cents. And let's see what the fuck happens. We're gonna pause that bitch into the bank of knowledge, my people.
The bank of knowledge.
So, something very special happened this past weekend that happens every year consecutively, has not been shut down for many generations now, which was the Super Bowl.
Oh, damn. Good. Okay.
Okay. So, one of the performances was done by Rihanna. Okay. A multi-mogul platinum artist, one of the best in our generation as of right now.
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of things that happened that did not get covered or were sideswiped while you were watching TV.
Whoa, here we go.
So. As it cut off when they played the fireworks scene, they cut it off, and she was actually shown to be throwing up the pyramid, the Illuminati sign, however you guys want to put it. Why the fuck was it blurred out?
Oh, man. And these things are done, I think, by design. I don't think this... Look, people will say, oh, maybe the camera... Right? But when the cameras turn to a different angles, they're programmed to be at that specific location to hit that specific angle, right? These are all coordinated, choreographed, right? Filmed events, right? I would assume.
Yes. No, heavy. Everything in her show was nothing but triangles everywhere. Her stage was outlined as a triangle. Everything was there. Her being the center of attention and being read, followed by a bunch of disciples, is actually a lot of symmetry. Symmetry.
Hey,
from amigos. Oh, shut up.
Hey. All right. Talking about amigos, I heard they got into a fight and they got the Grammys.
Oh,
fucking ghetto, dog.
Duking it out. Tell me your hood without telling me your hood, fool.
Word. All right. Okay. So you got into a fight in a fucking international. Rihanna dressed in red, pregnant, throwing up the rock sign, Illuminati ass princess. Okay. What else we got? What happened though? What else did they cover?
Whoa. See, that's what it all comes down to. Is that it wasn't your typical performance. I'm gonna be honest. If I had to rate it through, I don't know, through the last 5 Super Bowls, I want to see us towards the very bottom. Whether it be number 4 or 5, you know what I mean? It was a little boring.
I think it's because she wasn't showing any. I mean, she wasn't showing any skin. That's what it is.
I wouldn't say that. I get it. She's pregnant. You get me? But she didn't have that explosive feel. Which is something.
Would it make it more explosive feel if she wasn't pregnant and showing more skin? How many points more would she have been more explosive? That's a good question.
No, okay. Not so much a skin part. But you do have to remember that I'm pretty sure she played it safe because she was pregnant, so she couldn't do all of the stuff that she normally did. Remember, she was hardly moving.
Yeah,
overall. You got me? So, with that being said,
bless you.
Thank you.
That's right.
But with that being said, I had a feeling that they had to tone it down a bit.
To keep her safe, right? From falling from that big stage in the air. Yeah, that's right. Word.
So it's up for debate what actually happened, what we actually saw, what we didn't see. I want you guys' input. Did you guys feel any type of way about that performance? I want you guys to let me know.
I want to share something. I like her pregnant. I find her attractive pregnant, and I'm not the type of guy to fuck a pregnant woman. I mean, there's no shade there, right? People fuck with my brother. He's a pregnant woman chaser. I don't know. He likes to fuck pregnant women. I don't know. All right, I'm fucking exposing people here. But the thing is that she looks nice, and she looks. I think this is her second baby. right? Like, she looks
Second,
nice
second,
being
second.
pregnant. Yeah, she doesn't look too fucking beat up or whatever. She can still.
On to the next one. On to the
Oh,
next one.
man.
Before we touch your subject, did you guys know that the average cost of flowers goes up 4 times its original price around Valentine's Day?
Get the fuck out. Oh, my
So
God.
this literally just came out in the news yesterday.
Mhm.
For a simple arrangement of 12 flowers, which is a dozen for some people that don't know that, just letting you guys know,
Mhm.
it will normally be about $20 to $25 to make it look nice, make it look pretty.
Jesus Christ.
Guess how much that similar arrangement went for Valentine's Day or a day before?
It was $24, you said, right? In here in LA?
Yes. An
Easy.
arrangement, make it look all nice and pretty.
Easy 120. Easy.
80
Easy
bucks.
120. $80, yeah. On that range.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, there's a craze going on called something called Las Flores Buchonas.
Yeah.
The buchona, where it's
Yeah.
roughly, I don't know, I want to say, 70 to 100 roses, whatever it is. It's this big old bouquet. Looks really nice to a certain degree. It's just a bouquet, though. It's nothing fancy. Literally, they just put them all together. They put a nice paper around it just because it's a lot, okay?
Yep.
Guess what's the estimated cost for 150 roses? Like a real big Flores buchona.
I want to say $1 a rose, 150 to 180.
No.
Average on an average day.
On an average day, yes.
Okay.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, $300.
$450.
Get what?
Yes.
There.
Okay. For 50 roses, it was $120.
You know what? There are $1.25 per rose in downtown LA at the Rose District or whatever, the Flower District. And because I bought my wife one of those, buchon, Ramos. And it seems like
yesterday? No way.
No, not yesterday. No. I bought it for her birthday. I think you were there. Remember you walked me through the best little areas?
Yeah, you're right.
Shut up, fool. I didn't buy her flower. I took her out to eat. She doesn't like flowers.
Cheap ass. That's what they all say.
She said, I can't eat flowers. They just die. I want to take me out to eat. I'm like, fuck it, I'll take you out to eat.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
All right. The point here, yeah, cheap. Low key, fine. I'm not gonna blow $450 on a fucking bouquet of flowers, dog.
Nobody's asking you to blow $450, so I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Well, you're telling me right now that the inflation shit is like there's a craze on flowers, like.
There is. Okay.
Insanity.
Keep on going.
So they were selling the flowers for about $1.25, $1.25 per flower. So like for 72 flowers, I paid almost $90, and it was clean. It was amazing. It was cool. I mean, that was a good price. I think that was a good price for 72 flowers.
It was. So, getting back to it, so if you buy without the arrangement and you do it yourself, because it doesn't take a genius to make a bouquet. you could actually get 2 dozens for $20 on any normal day.
Yeah.
You get 2 dozens. Okay. So a lot of people have actually started making that their side hustle, especially out in the suburbs, because downtown gets hectic. It'll be packed left and right. So just a heads up for next year, people, if you guys are interested, come 2-3 days before, buy your stock, whatever you're gonna need, and it could be a side hustle. I mean, there's definitely money to make.
You could sell. Is this why? Support some more funds? A what? Did you just call them pendejos?
Pendejos, first name Pen, last name Dejos.
Oh shit! You know what? I've seen a lot of side hustles in the middle of the streets on some fucking neighborhood areas, like no fucking commercials, no fucking no businesses, right? And like you make a left turn on a random ass street, there's like fucking bouquet of flowers for sale right there, and they're, I mean, decent price, and then the fucking shit's half-assed, all wrapped together, half-assed. I've seen that shit. I know, but people are making money. They're fucking smart and intelligent and creative. I'll tell you that much.
Yo, exactly. My people, this was what is happening on the regular scheduled broadcasting.
That is right, Big Tank. Thank you for those 2 amazing stories. As always, doing an amazing job. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the mood. Science says time travel is impossible. Traveling between certain points of what we call time, it's every man's ultimate dream. As I once mentioned before on this show, he who controls the past controls the future. Some of us may portray time travel as a paranormal activity, a phenomenon where ghosts and spirits dwell until judgment day comes to set them free or banish them into eternal damnation. And some of us paint time travel as a not so distant forbidden reality, where time travelers come from a distant time to shape our everyday life that I call gift, the present day. From the four major time traveling aspects comes an amazing podcaster, showman, law upholder, paranormal enthusiast, and a Warp Reality podcast host and creator, the man with the plan, Ghost Joe from Warp Reality Podcast. Welcome, Ghost.
Hey, what's going on, man? Good to talk.
How's it going, brother?
How's it going?
I'm doing right, man. Doing good. It's a privilege to have you on our show again. You dropped the bombs on October, and you brought in personal stories, how you dwelled with the Ouija board once, I think, a ghost that followed you home in your car, et cetera, et cetera. So it was really fun to do. I really want to have you had an impact with our listeners. You had an impact on me, obviously, because now you have also segments on our show every month at the end of the month, the Warp Reality segment where you bring in creepy stories and you blow it out of the house, bro. You rock it, bro. What you got, man?
No, I love talking about this stuff, and it's just, to me, I definitely, like I always say, I take the subject matter seriously, but I don't take myself too seriously, so I try and bring entertainment to it, as well as
to digest it, right?
Information, like it's, for me, it's not really, I mean, a lot of these paranormal podcasters like to talk in a real spooky voice and a real gravelly voice, and that's just not me. I was thinking that when I first started the podcast, I'm like, maybe I'll do it. I'm like, you know what? That's just not who I am. So let me just try and give it the real, the New York attitude, that's what
right. That's right.
So that's how I like to tell this stuff, kind of straight up. I'm a realist more than I'm a believer for sure, but I'm a realist also, and that's just how I've always been with the stuff.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Tell us a little bit about Warp Reality. What are you working on right now? Have you found any? Because I know you have segments with White House investigation team. I like their stories too. It's just a little hard to digest it because it's a lot of information compact in one giant episode.
Yeah, no, he Chris Whitehouse of the White House investigation team.
Yeah,
he actually came in because I was thinking about quitting doing the whole podcasting thing because I just wasn't really getting the response that I really wanted to at the time. And I had my last ditch effort was to like go online and say, hey, because my first season I had a co-host. And I'm like, well, maybe that's what it's missing. Maybe I'm missing a co-host or somebody else. Maybe people are just bored of hearing just me talk, That's when I thought of these segment ideas,
which I stole, by the way.
That's totally fine, man.
Yeah.
And so Chris had actually said, well, I can't really be a co-host. He goes, but I could send you some stuff, we could kind of, because he was trying to build up his YouTube channel. So I'm like, all right, yeah, well, let's help each other out, and I'll promote. That's why I'm always promoting his book that he has and his YouTube channels. And he's always, helping me out as well, because it's not really, to me, it's never a competition,
Word.
The whole thing is saturated anyway. I mean, there's millions of podcasts.
A lot. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, who are you really competing against? That's insane if you take it as a competition.
Exactly.
So if we could all help each other, which is what we've been doing as well, you guys and me. So, but my other segment is with my buddy from high school, actually before that, from elementary school, Edgar Dave, who does horror movie reviews, and me and him have been watching horror movies since Blockbuster was around, and we would go every Friday night and rent like the worst horror movies you could think of. Worst meaning like the B, C, D rated horror movies that are like just terrible. And and he still does that. Unfortunately I don't have a lot of time to watch movies. So I'm like,
that's his passion.
I heard about this, check it out, review it, and he loves it, because we were actually in a band together.
Wow.
Back in high school named Warped Reality. And
wow. So that's where the name comes from. That's awesome, dog. That's awesome, bro.
Rock band. So Yeah, from 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. And that's where I got the name from the podcast and from that band. And I'm like, well, who better to have on my show than the singer of my old band of Warp Reality?
Bam. Yeah.
And another funny thing is the person that does all my artwork for the show was the bass player from the Warp Reality band as well. So
the band is still together in a sense.
Yeah, man. You know, like those two guys will always be my best friends, even though we're not in the same state anymore.
Mhm.
You know, we don't see each other. We don't, you know, that's how I, you know, connect with them and still communicate with them is through this stuff. So, you know, I really enjoy doing it with those guys.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And
the show gets very well put together. I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan. Ever since I found you, dude, I'm a fan. I'm a sucker for all this Bigfoot stuff, all these paranormal activity stuff, the freaking haunted eBay. I read it on Reddit. I love those segments, man. They make me laugh. They catch me. I love it, dog. It's good shit.
You're gonna love the new segment I just put out too, which is with a guy named John Wright, who I had on the show on the Christmas episode. He's a new segment host.
Is this the museum guy?
Yes.
Yeah. I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah.
I followed him on Twitter. Yeah.
He's gonna be well, he already is a segment host also. It's gonna be called his name is John Wright, and it's called The Right Headspace. And he's gonna be talking about, because he's an official MUFON investigator.
MUFON,
So
what's that?
It's the Mutual UFO Network, and it's a national network that has all these people that volunteer to investigate UFO claims. It's like a real thing. And
He's the head, you said?
No, he's not the head, but he's an investigator.
Wow.
So
it's funny that you mentioned this UFO stuff. All these balloons and UFO getting shut down right now.
Well, yeah, I was going to actually talk to you about that too. I mean, there's I think another one today. I forget, Michigan or something like that.
Yesterday Canada, today Michigan. There's one on top of Uruguay, Alaska. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Listen, I don't. What's your take on UFOs and aliens and stuff?
I try not to bring it into. Okay, look, there's like personalities in my head, right? So I try to think, keep it down to earth, keep it, you know, conspiracy wise. Don't go political, because once I go political, I take a full right turn. I'm like, oh, they're trying to distract us because of the laptops out and et cetera. You know, the stuff. The political climate is crazy right now. But when I go into my conspiracy self, I want to see UFOs so much, man. I want to be able to, like, I'm a millennial, bro. I was born in 1990, and the promotion of in the 90s movies, the UFO movie was a blowout. In the early 2000s, I'm a fan of like Battleship, Independence Day. You know, I grew up with these movies, Alien, Predator. So I want to see, hopefully, a peaceful race, but I would also love to see human race going against some different species, right? Obviously, I don't want to go through the suffering, you know, but like, because my mind plays out like a movie. But look, dude, I'm against the fence between it being a political scam, a publicity stunt, Project Bluebeam, because there's a lot of different things that are cracking down right now. But I also think that UFOs have been among us from the beginning. Roswell was probably the biggest hideout UFO cover up in U.S. history. And then amongst others that we don't even know about. You get what I'm saying? And why all of a sudden is the U.S. government and every other government exposing these UFOs being attacked? You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like,
because
it's overwhelming,
they can't hide it anymore. Because they can't hide it anymore. It's too much out there. They have their own U.S. Navy people coming out and saying, we caught this on camera. Like, we saw this stuff. They cannot hide it. You know, it's no. And the thing is, actually, a few years back, the Israeli, I want to say they called him Space Commander. The Israeli Space Commander came out and said there are aliens.
Trump is aware of it.
Are among us. Trump is aware of it. But they do not feel comfortable coming out just yet because it's in the middle of the pandemic and they don't want to frighten people more than they would already be frightened. You know, it would cause mass hysteria. You know, it would be insane. I mean, people would probably denounce religion.
It fucks up the timeline, man.
It would be insane.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot
we're not capable.
I got to think of, you know, but honestly, I feel like it's getting closer and closer, and it kind of excites me a little bit because my thing is this: if they wanted to destroy us, why would they wait for us to know about them to destroy us? They would have already done it. You know, there would be no reason for them to say, "Oh, well, now they know about us. Let's blow up the earth." You know, they would have did it when we wouldn't even have thought about them.
Makes sense. Makes
You
sense.
know,
Yeah.
that's how I see it. You know,
Yeah. You know what? I think the Chinese balloon made a lot of people look up in the sky more. Sorry. Excuse me. So now a lot more people are more vigilant. You get what I'm saying? So now they have the cameras ready. Now they have the things pointed at the sky a lot more often because they want to catch balloons in the sky, et cetera, et cetera. And instead of catching balloons, they're catching more UFOs, and the army has to fucking shoot them down in front of everybody. I think that's probably what's going on.
Yeah.
Good theorizing. Good theorizing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, no, with the new segment with John, you know, since he's the MUFON guy, you know, he's going to talk a lot about UFOs, and he's a huge Bigfoot enthusiast. So he loves Bigfoot, this guy. Yeah. So he's definitely going to be talking a lot about Bigfoot too. I can't wait.
What an exciting time.
For more of his segments, because it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear that's happening. And I'm a Bigfoot guy too. I just had a second Bigfoot episode with a friend of mine, Backwoods. He's on YouTube as well. Backwoods Bigfoot. He has great content, video content on YouTube, but he has encounters as well, encounter stories. Now let's jump right into it, bro, before we eat up the whole time. You know, you want to bring in a story of time traveling Trump, and I'm not talking about Donald Trump, I'm talking about Baron Trump. Give me, start off easy.
All right. So I had this written down. I had this written out for your segment. So I might sound like I'm reading it because I pretty much am. All right, because I wrote it down like that. But we're not going to talk about the Trump yet.
Okay.
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
So let's first talk about, have you ever heard of the Philadelphia experiment?
Is it a boat? Something with the military men got stuck to the boat because they were trying to warp or transfer things, something like that.
So let me read this here, right?
Okay. Oh man.
So check this out, and then I'm going to blow your mind. Oh,
awesome.
Hold on. Then I'm going to blow your mind. The Philadelphia experiment kind of borders the paranormal and conspiracy realm. It's widely believed to be a made-up story, but I'm going to get into some details about it, and I'm going to finish it off, right? So the events that occurred on October 28th, 1943, to a naval ship destroyer escort, the USS Eldridge, is an interesting experiment, right? So the story goes like this. On that date, the military was supposedly conducting an experiment on the ship in the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard to test the ability to cloak or to make the ship invisible. It was said that the idea of it had been driven by the brilliant minds of Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla.
Oh,
remember that name, by the way. Remember Tesla. Okay. So on October 28th, 1943, the Navy attempted to use electromagnetic fields to pull off this feat. There were a bunch of crew members on board, and when witnesses saw an eerie greenish glow around the hull of the ship, the generator started up, and then the USS Eldridge disappeared. It just disappeared in thin air. The ship was then seen a few moments later in a Norfolk naval yard in Virginia, but only for a few seconds. It was only seen for a few seconds in Virginia right away, and then it disappeared again, and it reappeared back in Philadelphia.
Uh-oh, okay.
It almost seemed like it was a successful experiment, only when it returned back, the crew was in bad shape. Some crew members went insane. Some suffered strange illnesses, and others were fused to the metal of the ship.
Yeah, I know there's images of that, dude. But they're stuck, like their face. One of them is the face is coming out of half of the hull of the ship. This other one is on the floor of the ship. Different body parts coming out of. Oh, dude, it's something of a movie, bro. Hollywood magic type of stuff.
I remember seeing something about it on like one of those, not Travel Channel, because this was way before the Travel Channel had this stuff, but like maybe going back like 20 years ago, I remember seeing like a reenactment of it. And it freaked me out then. Like I still remembered oh, the Philadelphia experiment. I'm like, I got to
Yeah.
do something about that, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
That's wicked.
So Trump, right?
Okay, here you go.
But by the way, I'm just going to precursor this by saying, you know, I'm not a political person. I don't argue politics because I don't really know enough about it to argue politics. You know, I'm just going to put that out there.
Okay.
So, lawyer Ingersoll Lockwood had written a pair of books about a boy named Barron Trump, which of course is Donald Trump's son's name, right? The books were titled Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey and Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bulger.
Okay.
It was about a boy named Baron that goes to Russia and finds a portal that allows him and his dog to travel through time.
Fucking Stargate.
The person in the book who guides Baron, his name was Don.
Donald. Okay. The
person's name that guided Baron in the books, his name was Don, and they called him the Master of All Masters.
Of course,
Now-
we'll call him after that.
Now, mind you, though, check this out. Mind you, these books were published in the 1800s.
These are real books.
These are real books.
Facts.
You could get
Okay.
them. You could get these books, prints of them, I guess. So that's one thing that kind of is nuts, right? Oh, by the way, the one thing I didn't write in here. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, here we go. Don't forget it. Write it down.
Crazy. Okay, so then Mr. Lockwood had also written a pamphlet in 1896 entitled 1900 or The Last President. It's about a huge uproar over an election from a political outsider who was a wealthy man from New York City.
Get the fuck out of here.
And wait, his vice president's name was Mr. Pence.
Nah. Wait.
Bro.
No, dude.
This is insane, bro. It's sick.
Wait. The book was written almost beyond 100 years ago, right? Okay.
Yes.
And the guide of the kid named Baron Trump, his name is Don, Masters of All Masters. Of course, Donald Trump would call himself that. Then you have, he was the president, the last president of the US, right?
Yeah, they called him the last president. Yeah.
And then his vice president was Mr. Pence.
Yes. And there was a huge uproar over the election of a political outsider.
Not to interrupt you,
New York City.
we did an episode on devolution. Again, not to try and jump into politics because the podcast has been very political recently. But the devolution is also thinking how this, like, apparently Trump is still the president through some military operation, okay? And Biden is just a plain president, I guess. But this book, the way you just put it out, the names it pulls out, this is foretelling, bro.
Wait. Now. Now
You have more.
This is the insane thing, man. So this is crazy. So Nikola Tesla, like I had said before, he had something to do with the Philadelphia experiment, right?
Uh-huh.
He passed away at the beginning of 1943. Now, the Philadelphia experiment happened towards the end of 1943. Okay. When he had died, the government sent a very intelligent engineer to look over all of Tesla's journals to make sure that there was nothing in there that could potentially harm the government. Okay.
Trump's uncle.
He was one of the brightest minds in the US and one of the only people that could understand Tesla's notes. His name was John Trump, and he was Donald Trump's uncle.
I knew it. I know I heard this one before. I knew it. Okay. Wow.
Part to me is that, look, it kind of all lines up. Think about it. Nikola Tesla dies in the beginning of 1943, right? Donald Trump's uncle checks out all of his stuff. Nikola Tesla, even on his deathbed, I didn't even write this in my notes. I found this out later on. Nikola Tesla on his deathbed had told somebody that he had invented time travel.
He also said that he was Venetian.
Yeah.
From Venus. Yeah, not a lie. That's not a lie.
You never know, right? He
Apparently,
was a very, very intelligent man.
he apparently used to catch radio signals from space. Somebody from space will send him signals on how to make these amazing marvels, and he would just do them. He will be thinking of it and arming it as he's thinking of it with no notes. I'm talking about like no architecture paper. He was an intelligent, super smart, ahead of his time. And for Donald Trump's uncle to be involved in this, yeah, we got some conspiracies here.
Yeah, because think about it. I mean, look, I'm not saying anything about the Trumps, but if think about the connection there. Donald Trump's uncle finds the stuff, says, oh shit, he figured out time travel. Well, let me take this shit for myself. And they could do the only thing that doesn't make sense to me.
How would he know?
Well, no, my thing is, this is Donald Trump we're talking about, right? He would make himself like the leader of the free world, like the richest man in the world. That's what I would think. I mean, that's the only thing that kind of throws a wrench into it for me. Like, why would you make yourself Elon Musk? Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm trying to put it together. His uncle got the stuff.
Power than money, really. I mean, he always wanted power more than money.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
his uncle, okay, so his uncle would go back in time and make the book, or will go in forward in time to put Trump in power? How would that work?
I don't know. I mean, unless he left the secrets with
the family,
and then Donald Trump did something about it.
Why leave the book in the past? How would that tell a story?
Yeah, I don't know, but there's too many weird connections to it to like kind of just dismiss it, I think.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, I just thought it would be really cool. I'm like, I got to bring this up to you because it has, like I said, it has the whole paranormal thing with the time travel stuff and the whole conspiracy thing kind of wrapped up into one,
Exactly. And the times that we're living right now, bro, you tell me UFOs are getting bombarded in Canada, I'll believe you, It's crazy stuff, dog. Crazy stuff.
Well, listen, years ago when people used to hear about UFOs, it was a joke, like I remember, I mean, you're 10 years younger than me, but I remember like on TV, they would be like, oh yeah, there was a UFO sighting, and they'd be all laughing and making jokes about it and crap. They don't make jokes about it anymore.
It was taboo
thing now.
Absolutely.
Now it's like, oh yeah, there was an unidentified flying object. We have no idea. The military shot it down. We don't know what it was. They don't know what it was. And it's a real serious thing now. So
and specifically after Trump's era, we've had a declassification of UAPs and UFOs, a series of them where there's trials, there's witnesses, there's encounters with airmen, what's it called, pilots, right? Absolutely, bro.
They put together a 17-person team of the greatest minds in the country together for this UFO team that they have now. It's another team after the one that Trump put up. They have another research team. Like, why would they be spending all this money if, to just say, oh yeah, it's a weather balloon? No,
no.
There's other stuff going on. And
I didn't even know there was another 17-man team working into deeper stuff. That's coming out of the black budget, and it's kept very secret because I didn't know anything about that, right? I mean, I think I would assume more other people like me don't know about that. There's another secondary team looking into deeper stuff for UAPs and UFOs, right? And there's something for them to take it into this deep into matter, to take it this seriously, is a matter of national security. It has to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that they're doing all this means that these aircrafts are flying with intelligent control. It's not just like a meteor or something like that where it's just like, oh yeah, it's just something flying. They know that these things are flying with some kind of intelligence behind it.
Absolutely.
So I think I hope it happens soon. I mean, it's getting closer and closer, man. It's getting closer and closer.
You live in New York, bro. New York is probably going to be the most impacted. That's like the Great Apple. That's where all the cultures meet. I'm saying that's going to be, I'm talking about not headquarters, the epicenter of an impactful reaction from the civilians, from people, where they get to see a real UFO. If it's going to happen anywhere, it has to happen in this big populated areas. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
For all of you guys to capture that moment. Absolutely, dude. All right, so Baron Trump, time traveling. So you said also underground adventures? So this guy was like, we're talking about Hollow Earth, or we're jumping into another?
Well, no, I mean, these were just like stories that this guy had made about this little boy named Baron that went on these adventures with this dog, and they time traveled through time and stuff like that. That's what these two books were about, basically. But I believe that that's where he found the time travel thing was underground somehow. I didn't actually read the books. I probably should. They'd probably be pretty interesting, especially knowing what we know now, about.
And the resemblance of the little book, the Baron Trump kid, to Donald Trump's son, Baron Trump.
Yeah,
they're identical, bro. You seen that back like next to each other picture? I think I made it. I put it on the video as well. That's insane.
Well, that's what I'm saying too, man. I mean, it's like, it's one thing like, all right, Donald Trump could have said, oh yeah, I really like these books back in the day. Let me name my kid Baron, over this. Okay.
Coincidence.
That could be a coincidence, or, he meant to do that. But then everything else just doesn't add up to be coincidence. It's a little bit too much to be coincidence.
What's your take on it, man? What's your deep thought on it? What makes you go bananas on this?
I mean, just look, I've been a Back to the Future fan all my life. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And just the thought of time travel being real, or that it's been done already is just insane to me. It's mind blowing to me, and, I honestly hope it is true. I think that's incredible, that they could do stuff like that. I mean, of course, in the wrong hands, it could,
weapon.
It could be really bad, but, I guess we have to wait and see, because you never know what could happen, down the line, I guess, what could be uncovered. But
Tesla also invented his coils, that machine that he made, he could harvest free energy. And there's a reason why the US representatives at the time decided to use Edison's machines instead of Tesla's. It was because they could manufacture it and they could sell it. They could make a profit out of it. Tesla was ahead of his time. He also mentioned that if you know the secrets of the number 369, I don't know if you know about that. Yeah. The number is 369. So every single time you multiply, for example, 3 times 3 equals 9, right? 9 times 9 is 81. 8 plus 1 equals 9. So every single time you multiply or add those numbers, they will always come back to the 369. I'm gonna send you the link. It's on a YouTube video where you do this. I forgot the name of the mathematical equation, where you add every number makes a whole different timeline. When you add them and you multiply them. But 369, when you multiply those numbers, those are the only 3 numbers that stand alone. So Tesla said, if you know the secrets of 369, you'll have the key to the universe. It's crazy stuff, dog. Crazy stuff. So Tesla, being ahead of his time and leaving this camouflage stuff, right, that he left, that the government was behind, and the government probably collected a lot of more different things that we don't know about.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this. Politics aside, what do you think of Elon? What do you think of Elon Musk?
Wow, dude. Good question.
I think he's a visionary. I think, honestly, I mean, he's talk about one of the brightest minds of all time. I mean, that dude is incredible, I think.
Yeah. I do know this. Elon, I'm not going to take anything that you said away. He is amazing and involved. Now, there's only one way that you could stop liking Elon Musk is if he gets directly involved with politics. That's you go that way. You could be The Rock and you become a politician. You're going to lose out money for sure. Yeah. People are going to stop liking you for some reason. Elon Musk, like you say, he's a visionary. He wants to take us to Mars. I'm a big freaking space travel guy. He's smart. He's been warning about the people about AI being probably the biggest weapon to be used against us in the near future. He's extremely smart. I really like the guy. But I also know that the people that we think are extreme billionaires, the 1%, the people that are really billionaires and they're out in the public showing themselves and presenting themselves as the billionaires, there's people above them that are extreme more trillionaires that probably move the money a lot more than these people do. So I don't want to say he's a puppet. I'm against the fence again. I don't want to say he's working against us, but dude, putting a chip in our heads. I'm not religious, bro. I'm not. Okay. But putting a chip on our heads, that's biblical, bro. That's biblical, dog, you know? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you saw a few months back, he had actually he had this conference where he showed a real robot and the robot walked out on stage. Did you see that?
Yeah, the one with the black face.
Did it?
The Tesla bot.
And he walked out on stage and did like a little dance or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane, man. Like he actually, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's going to put a lot of people out of work for sure, you know, having robots like that. But just, I mean, it's incredible, you know, what he's able to accomplish. I mean,
and his patents are all free, right?
Are they?
Yeah, he has all his patents out, and it's public knowledge. You could tap into him, and he says because there's no competition. He goes, I want my competitors to know what I'm dealing with so that they could outsmart me and then keep innovating. That too, bro. That's very humble, dog. Amazing.
Well, there was a thing that I saw on TikTok that I really liked with him too, where I forget exactly what he was talking about, something to do with his rocket ships, and he had said, oh yeah, you know, we did this and this and this. And the person that was interviewing him said, well, why wouldn't you do it like that? And he like scratches his chin. He goes, you know what? That's a good idea. I think we're going to revisit that. Right.
Oh, shit.
And then it shows 6 months later and it's the same interviewer. And he goes, yeah, I was thinking about what you said that day. And he goes, so we changed it. And like, so he actually took that guy's idea and made it a reality and said, you know what? He was right. And he gave credit where credit was due. Like, I think that's very, very cool that it's not like above him to take suggestions and to take, you know.
It really shows that he really wants humankind to move out of Earth. He really wants to innovate. His genuine emotion is to grow. It's not even about the money or the wealth. He has all the money and the wealth. You get what I'm saying? He could have any woman he wants. Yeah. He really wants us off this rock, and he'll take any, you know, he's very humble. I like that. Yeah, and specifically after he bopped Twitter and he dropped those Twitter files and continues to drop the truth bombs, I'm a fan.
and that's why people are like, well, why would he want to sell it? He only bought it to get those secrets. That's why he bought it. He's definitely not stupid.
Like I told you, you go political, people are gonna stop liking you. You know, why would he take that hit? Because he wanted to expose the truth. He you know, and he had the means to it. Amazing guy.
Yeah. And the last thing, I don't know if have you heard about the Tesla phone? I'm definitely getting the Tesla Pi phone, bro.
Bro, it's gonna knock Apple on his ass.
Oh yeah,
man.
I mean,
what do you think is gonna happen within those two warring factions?
Stuff that it's promising. I mean, come on, it's too good to pass up. I've had Apple since the iPhone 3. And I'm dropping Apple cold when that phone comes out.
Yeah.
You know, plus Apple hasn't really been good since Steve Jobs died. It hasn't really been innovative. They haven't really put out anything different since Steve Jobs passed away.
Yeah.
Time
has passed.
Yeah.
Time has passed for Apple.
Yeah. I mean, all they do is make the camera a little bit better
Samsung's doing a better job now. If you compare these Samsung phones, like, dude, what the hell? You could zoom into like a building and see people's light fixtures and stuff. Yeah, I can't do that with my iPhone.
Right. I mean, so I'm definitely looking forward to the Pi phone when that comes out, because that's what
it's called, the Pi phone. What a smart guy.
Right.
Yeah. We needed something new. Because Apple, obviously, 4 years with the same design on our Apple phones. I'm a fan, dude. I'm a fan of Apple. I stopped using Android. I was a fan of LG for a minute too. I stopped using anything that was Android when the iPhone 7 came out. iPhone 7 was my very first iPhone. And after that, dude, I haven't had an Android ever since. But you bring in Tesla, you're gonna have to look, it's not the fastest or the strongest that survives, is the most adaptable. That's the one that's gonna survive the most. So if Apple can adapt to pressing competition, unlimited wealth, you know, from Tesla and Elon Musk, then, you know, by all means adapt.
Only thing that kind of scares me with Musk is, I mean, I love his whole thing about freedom of speech. I think that's great, right? But the only thing that kind of scares me is that, and I'm not into stocks. I don't do stocks or anything like that. But just the fact that a man like that could just say, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to drink Pepsi anymore. I think Pepsi sucks. And then the whole stock market will crash Pepsi stocks will drop like nobody's business, all because he said, yeah, I don't like Pepsi anymore. You know, just somebody with that kind of pull, that kind of power and influence that's kind of scary, you know, but at least it's in somebody like his hands that I feel it's a little safer in his hands than some others, you know?
Yeah.
It's
the dude has I mean, there's a saying that came out of New York. The saying is you're gonna laugh on this one. Great power comes great responsibility. The guy should not have all that power if he is not able to pay the light bill, right? The guy knows that he has that amount of pull, but each amount of pull, each time that he makes a decision, there's going to be consequences and a ripple effect that happens after. So yeah, he could maybe bring down Pepsi, but the guy's going to have, you know, a turmoil of events and maybe possibly even have more haters which he doesn't need, you know, or sanctions and stuff. And he's connected with the U.S. military, with the military complex like this. Starlink, yeah, we use his satellites. We're using his freaking rockets to go to the moon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he is intertwined in everything. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and the last thing I'm going to say about the guy actually is, do you know that he has the most retweeted tweet on all of Twitter?
And being the owner of Twitter, huh? What tweet is that?
This is the best. This is the best thing in the world, though. When I heard this, I cracked up for a while, man. He said that he has the biggest tweet of all of Twitter, and it was the one where right after he bought Twitter, he said, "Now I'm going to buy Coca-Cola to put the cocaine back in." That's his biggest tweet.
And he has a fun side of him too.
Right. I was like, that is awesome. I'm like, that just sealed the deal for me. I'm like, I love this guy.
And the thing is that he can do it. He has the means to. He can do it if he wanted to,
and change the laws and everything. Oh yeah, cocaine is legal now.
So much pull.
You know, but
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Ghost Joe, you came and you freaking rocked it. We're at the hour mark, man. I really appreciate you coming out. Warp Reality Podcast is in the fucking house. New York again in the fucking house. You rocked it this time. Not that you never don't. But go ahead and tell the listeners where to find you, all your links, and then lead us out.
So yeah, you can find the Warp Reality Podcast on all the podcasting platforms, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. And if you do go on Apple Podcasts, I'd appreciate a review if you could, a review. Whether it's good or bad, you know, I'm all good with that. You can call 845-600-0744, and that's my little hotline. If you have a paranormal experience that you'd like to share and you want me to put it on the show, or if you want to be a guest in the show, please call that. Let me know as well. And yeah, I hope you guys listen and check me out. You know.
Absolutely. Ghost Joe, excuse me there. I was getting stuck a little bit.
Feeling it right now. We're both sick here.
You know what? Warp Reality Podcast for me is one of my top 5 podcasts, and I don't listen to a lot. And I love the way you structure your show. Again, make sure you check them out. Warp Reality Podcast and the warprealitypodcast.com. And on top of that, he's wearing my shirt. So look at that. Awesome, bro. Awesome, dude. That's amazing.
Mirror image.
Yeah. It's amazing stuff what you're doing out there. Keep doing what you're doing, guys, and make sure. So I have a couple of listeners that do have paranormal stories. So I'm gonna send them your podcast. I'm gonna send them your IG, so they could hit you up and send. You'll have a friend that he's a tattoo. I don't want to mention his name on the air, but he owns a tattoo shop off Michigan. I think it's Michigan, Virginia. And the dude, I wanted to have him on our show in October instead of before I met you. And he was telling me, dude, look at this. He sends me videos of white orbs in his tattoo shop, and he thinks it's his little brother that died of an overdose that's haunting him still. And then he also told me that sometimes I think I shared this with you. He goes into his tattoo shop, and then he brings donuts into the tattoo shop, and he tells the ghost, help yourself, so that nothing goes misplaced and the machines work all day.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
One last thing too. If anybody does want to share their paranormal experiences, I don't ridicule or anything like that. You know, listen, the only person I make fun of is myself on the show. You know, I'm very open-minded, and you could even tell me your experiences, anonymously if you'd like. So I'm on with that too.
Awesome. Make sure you check them out. The Warped Reality Podcast. Ghost Show, thank you so much for being here. It was amazing, bro.
Always fun, man.
Paranoid Radio.